but it's a reality that it's a very competitive world out there. There is this old professor from Irma. Have you heard of that story? There's an old professor from Irma who was traveling by bus to Ahmedabad. He got into a bus, and then it was a very busy bus. He had to stand. Okay, so he was standing like this and he was traveling. Then he saw somebody sitting there, somebody aged 40 odd. So this chap suddenly got up and told, "Sir, you have taught me. Sir, you have taught me. Do you remember me?" And the professor told, "No, I don't remember you. But great, son, you remember me. That's great. I'm so happy. Sir, why don't you sit here? You are standing. How can I sit like this? Please sit here." Now, the professor told me, "You sit there. You remembered me. That is great. You sit there." "No, sir, aap wait. No, sir, aap wait." It went on for some time, and suddenly some 20, 25 aged fellow came and sat there. And then the professor looked at him. It was his current student. It was his current student. And the student gave a very smug smile. So what is the problem there? Did you find any problem there? The new generation is not good. Yeah, they don't value people. No, actually that's not the problem. The real problem is that the syllabus has changed. The syllabus has changed. Earlier, the very same professor, when he used to teach, he used to also say that, you should respect elders, you should think of others, blah, 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 all such useless things also he used to mention. Now the professor is teaching only one thing. The world is very competitive. If there is one seat, that seat should be yours. You should capture that. If it's one seat, that seat is yours. So the student is very good. He is very good. He is going by the advice of the professor. Now, it's not about just syllabus change. It's also about the society at large changing. Now, the chicken will come home to roost. That's the only problem. Finally, what will happen is people who are brought up in a very safe, sound, and very comfortable environment, they live in a separate world, a make-believe world, believing that everything is fine. Their sensitivity goes really down. The compassion element goes really down. So what happens is, these children who grow up without having exposure to pain, without exposure to such realities of life, without exposure to old age homes or orphanages, just to realize that how lucky you are, what happens is when these children grow up, they send their parents to old age homes. So the chicken comes home to roost. So that is a reality which we all should realize. That is why we start the argument that there should be compassion. And again, why compassion? Because as district collector, every day I get to hear petitions, 100, 200 petitioners keep coming, and almost 99% of the petitions revolve around this concept of lack of compassion. There will be brothers fighting over property, stabbing each other. There will be people entering into argument, property, all sort of things. Everything boiling down to one simple thing, that there is no concept compassion. There is no concept of chalo chodo. You take it. Almost 90% of the issues can be sorted out by let go. This let go comes only if there is compassion. Coming back to the mental hospital, after seeing the plight there, in consultation with the superintendent there, we got a small list. Our concept was only this much. If I try to solve this issue through the government, I'll have to wait for budget, I'll have to wait for allocation, I can write letters, hundreds of letters being written, but in the secretariat, the fellow who will be dealing with the file, he will be totally insensitive. He has not seen this place. How will he feel that? He will never appreciate what is seen on paper. And what is the point in getting all these things at some point of time? By that time, these patients will die. If it has to have some value, it should happen now. So we decided on crowdsourcing. So on this very Facebook page, at that time we had just a followership of around roughly 10,000, not even 10,000, around 9,000. We put a list of requirements there. And believe me, the entire list got exhausted in less than 4-5 days. We took two positions on that. One was that we will not take money. We don't want money. We don't want people to give us money. Many people will asking, just give the account, we'll transfer the funds, you buy all the stuff. We said, no, we want these many stuff. It could be buckets, it could be plates, it could be essential medicines, wheelchairs, repair of the room, toilet, all those basic stuff. We want those things in kind. And in 4 or 5 days, there were enough people to sort that out and even more. So then we realized that there is a huge potential out there. Why don't we harness that? And there are so many institutions within the government sector. For example, the children's home. Now we have children's home there for boys and girls. It's there in every district, everywhere. These are children who are not so fortunate as us. They were born in certain circumstances. Either they are orphans, or their parents are not in a condition to take care of them, or they are in a dangerous situation. Like they need protection from their parents themselves. There are very many cases of that, those kind also. Now these children, they are also children. When I used to visit the children's home, it's really touching. They also have wishes, aspirations. They would ask for toys, they would ask for cycles, they would ask for new dresses. The volunteers who were there from Irma, they have been there, they have seen our children there. Now imagine, if these children were yours or in any of our families, their wishes would be met that day or maximum in a week. Now who actually sorts out their wishes? Have you ever thought of it? Everywhere you have this, government orphanages everywhere. Does the government allocate any budget for these wishes or requirements? Nothing of that kind. And even if the government provides for buying clothes, just imagine how the government would buy. It will be the same useless drab color. Everyone will wear the same thing. The kids, they have wishes. They want yellow, they want blue, they want red, green, all sort of colors, which is never met. Now we thought, let's do the same thing for all these institutions. We have the old age home, all these institutions. Let's crowdsource. Let's collectively try to sort this. Let's not wait for anyone. Let's not wait for government funds. We will not take a nair pie from the government nor from the public. We will only go by crowdsourcing of materials and time. We sort time because time is also very crucial. Giving time is the most beautiful thing you can do. Here, this is an update in Malayalam. It's about a lady who has volunteered through our website and who has, I think, a Malayalam English also there. Yeah, it's self-explanatory. Are you able to read it from there? It's just a story of one of the volunteers where this is long after we launched this. Now it has picked up so much that things are moving. This is the latest update which we put today morning or yesterday. Just about a retired teacher, a lady, now finding some meaning in her life by going to the children's home and spending time there, teaching them, and making a positive change in their lives. There is no motivation for these kids. There is nobody to tell them, you sit and study. In the evening there should be somebody for, there has been somebody for all of us. That's why we all study. You go and study. Somebody should tell them with love, with care. Now, as I said, it's not just about material, but also about time. And time is what is making a lot of difference in the lives of these children, in the life of the aged who are in the old age home, and also in the mental asylum. I'm really happy that Irma was part of this process, because when we had conceptualized this, we were discussing how to go about this. There's a lot of work to be done. Back end is the real story. I'll just show you the website. Yeah. Now we have, we don't take cash, as I mentioned, because we don't want to get into the procurement stuff problem again, and we don't want money. And second thing is no photography. Nowadays, the problem with charity is that you give 10 rupees and you prepare a hoarding for 10 lakhs and display it in the airport. It's too much. So we don't want those kind of people. And by completely avoiding photography, something very beautiful that has happened about this project is that you don't find any who? Huh? Not CSR. There are some elements which they come into most projects. I wouldn't name any particular class or segment, but there is a particular segment who wants to be seen, always in the media, always in the papers, who are obsessed with their photographs in the newspaper. They don't trouble us at all. Every time we try to do something, generally people ask, do you get the freedom to work? Don't you get political interventions? Don't you get pressurized and all that stuff? The happy news is that for this particular project, nobody is interested. No one is interested in this project, except for the general public who take genuine interest. They don't want their photos to be splashed. We tell them that this is the concept behind this. So there's no photography and there is no cash transfer. You directly do whatever you want to do. Actually, if someone could help me with that, you could pull a chair and sit there if possible. If you just click on donate, just see what are the kind of things we are asking for. If you just scroll down, the palliative care. Palliative care is a major initiative which in Calicut, especially, and in Kerala, we are pushing forth. You know what is palliative care? People in pain, people who are fairly advanced towards death, who are maybe cancer patients, maybe any other disease, who are laid up, who cannot move, for whom death is almost very imminent and certain. So for reducing their pain, we do this palliative care. Small things. Asha Bhavan is again an institution where we try to rehabilitate men and women who have been treated from mental diseases. These are all small, petty things. So the beauty of putting up all these things there, every day is a gift day in Calicut. We keep getting gifts from unknown places. If you could just click on any of this bubble tube or whatever, okay. We give estimately what's the cost. We need just one. Once we fill in all these details, we say, I'll deliver such and such by such and such date. That's all. Then, in the back end, our office, they get in touch with them and ensures that the thing is delivered. Um, Either by Flipkart or Amazon or directly, whatever manner it is, they have to make the delivery there. If they don't deliver on such and such dates, it comes back on the website again. So it's the back end that is the real challenge. Now if you go back, we could see the volunteer section. It took at least 2.5 months to really do the back end for this. Physics teacher, we need a physics teacher at the aftercare home for girls. We go down, psychiatric social worker. They see many institutions, they don't have posts created. There won't be a psychiatrist in a mental hospital, for instance. There won't be a occupational therapist there. So these are posts which have to be created, finance has to agree, blah blah, all those stuff. In the meantime, who will take care of that? So what we are saying is we'll bring them on voluntary basis. And the kind of response we are getting is overwhelming. Without paying a nair pie, we are getting hundreds of volunteers, thousands of donations in kind. And because we won't do any publicity, it won't be known outside also. Irma knows this because we have had students from here who are part of the back end who really contributed. That's the only reason. Because this is going to be a very silent thing. This is not going to be showcased anywhere. And we want it that way. That is the beauty of it. So every day we get information from the medical college, for instance, that today I've got, say, 100 pillows here. Yeah, I've got 50 blankets. All sort of things keep coming from unknown places to various institutions within Calicut. So if you go back, we introduced one more section called scholarships. The scholarship, why we introduced this was, there is a system of helping people educate their children. Government supports various students who are needy and all that stuff. But very often on paper there are limitations. For instance, you have this APL BPL differentiation. Someone is technically APL, but he could be worse off than BPL. There are so many cases that come to me on a daily basis. Someone gets classified as APL because at that point of time he was okay, he was well. Now the next day he falls down from a building, he is laid up, he is totally laid up, he can't move, or he is in a coma. His family doesn't have any earning, but still the government will say you are APL. Because ration card revision will take place, God knows when, but till that time you are supposed to be APL. You are really well off. So who will take care of those cases? Or there will be some red tapeism involved, some conditions, something will be there. As was discussed in the earlier session, policy, these policy things, these things, rules, all this create practical problems on the field. So in such cases, if we find genuine cases, what we do is we just put it up here. And fortunately, we are getting overbooking for this actually, because education is something where people are more than willing to support. All the cases have been sorted out now. In fact, we have contributors waiting for giving support. That's again a beauty of this initiative. So if you could go back. If you could go, just initiatives. So once we decided that the umbrella of operation would be compassion, compassion is a central theme, then we started coming out with various sub-projects, sub-initiatives which work on the concept of, or the underlying concept of compassion. Now Operation Suleimani is something, just click on that. This is basically food with dignity, nothing more than that. Again, based on crowdsourcing. Suleimani, you know what is Suleimani? Suleimani is lemon tea, yeah. Suleimani is lemon tea which we, in Calicut, we take that after a heavy meal, after a really heavy meal, after biryani or something. It shows contentment, it shows happiness that your tummy is full. Now, see, we have so many people all around us who go hungry, which we don't realize because we live in a very cozy world of ours. And if at all someone is hungry, what do? You tell him to go there. There I am giving you free food. There I am giving you free food. You go there. Right? And then he goes there. He has to stand in a queue. You demean him. Then you give him food. When he is just about to take the food, you take a photograph also. And then you splash it saying that I gave free food. Because you have to use this food to collect more money for your charity works. You know? So this is going around. Now what we said was, see, food is a basic entitlement. Food is basic because hunger is basic. You and I feel hungry. See, any animal gets hungry. It's quite natural. Children get hungry. Educated, uneducated, old, young, anyone can get hunger. When you go to a restaurant to have food, you have money with you. Someone else comes and sits right across you. He doesn't have money. Okay? You are not hungry. He is hungry. Who is entitled to food? Who deserves food? You have money, but you are not hungry. The fellow sitting right across you, he is damn hungry, but he doesn't have money. Who deserves food? The fellow who is hungry. It's very obvious. So food has got nothing to do with money. But when you give food, there's a general talk. You're making them lazy. There is no free lunch, right? You're making people lazy. How many of you have a cat at home? Nobody. God. Good. I also used to have cat. Nobody else? Yes. Don't feel shy. People who have cats should be proud. There's a theory, people who have cats and people who have dogs, the difference between them. You don't know that? People who have, cat is a very selfish creature. Cat is a very selfish and it minds its own business and it's very independent. You have to go an extra mile to take care of the cat. And it's thankless also. Whereas a dog is not like, a dog is very loyal. You don't give much care, even then it will come and take care of you and all that. So the problem is that as a person, once you get used to the dog, you become a problematic character. Whereas someone who has a cat, see, he's smiling. Someone who has a cat, his character gets, it slightly elevates because he is very understanding and he takes care of people who are generally thankless also. The point I was trying to convey is, suppose you have a cat and the cat comes and cries. It's hungry. What do? You give it some food. You generally don't ask him, why are you hungry? You have got 4 legs and a tail. Why don't you go and catch a rat? You should be working hard now. How dare you walk around lazily like this? You never do that to a cat. You give it food. You will, you will touch that. You will caress it. You will make it happy. It will start purring. At the end of the meal, the cat will just turn around and walk away so selfishly, thanklessly. Still, you love that cat and say, "Oh." Why? Because you have love, you have compassion towards that cat. But when a human being comes and asks for food, you will immediately ask, why are you hungry? Why don't you work? The point I'm trying to make is, hunger is a great leveler. It levels you. What we are saying is, protecting somebody's privacy, protecting his individuality, his dignity. We need to have a fallback option for anyone who is hungry. That is a basic requirement. Just like NRE is. If you don't have work, you give work, right? So occasionally, if there is a situation that you are hungry and you don't have any way out, there should be option to take care of his dignity and at the same time give him food. In the Western countries, you have a concept of food on the wall, or coffee on the wall, painting on the wall, and all that. You must have heard of that. Basically, you have food somewhere and you pay additionally for someone else, and it will be there on the wall. It will be stuck there. So someone else who comes in without money, he has the option either to take from the menu or order from the wall. It's a very simple concept. But in India, if you do that, it's practically not going to work because in that very same restaurant, you should have enough things on the wall. Right. So in the bus stand or in the railway station, the wall won't be enough. You'll need a big hoarding there. Because people, general demand will be in such areas. And people who have the capacity to contribute on the wall would be having dinner in Taj. So there on the Taj, the wall things will be there, but these people cannot come to Taj. So it doesn't work. So what we did was we did a centralizing system. You contribute in various boxes. Again, the basic concept is crowdsourcing. We did crowdsourcing. We collect money from various places. We put Suleimani boxes everywhere. Fund comes in, it goes into a separate account. Secondly, who needs food? We provide them coupons without any questions asked. If someone comes and asks for food, we give them coupon. Through village office, taluk office, and palliative care volunteers, and at the bus stand and the railway station through student volunteers, by involving all the colleges in the city. These coupons will be redeemed. It will be honored in a select list of 100 hotels spread out throughout the city. Now these hoteliers, they collect these coupons at the month end. They produce these coupons and they get reimbursed. There's a rate of 40 rupees that has been fixed. So nobody is losing anything in this process. And because this coupon is as good as money, the restaurant owners are also very happy. And the dignity is protected. In this process, when we went through this process, it was a great learning experience for everyone, including these hotel owners. Initially, the hotel owners were very skeptical. They were very doubtful about money, first of all. Will I get enough money? Will my coupon be honored? That is a serious concern. It's a business concern, isn't it? Thankfully, we didn't have any problem. In fact, we have surplus fund so far. In fact, 2 days after we launched the project, I got a call from, again from the Gulf. Okay. It was a major industrialist of Malayali origin. He is from Kerala. So he wanted to know the bank account to transfer 1 crore rupees. He wants to put 1 crore into this project. And his concern, it's a jewelry basically. So he, all the employees, all of them have in addition collected 25 lakhs. So 1.25 crores he wanted to transfer into our account to support this project. And we told him with a lot of love and thanks that no sir, we don't want that, because we don't want this project to be dependent on any major sponsor. We want this to be based on crowdsourcing with community ownership. Otherwise, this will not survive. And by God's grace, it has been going very successfully. And this crowdsourcing model is the strength of this. Because we are not having any obligation to anybody. It's the general public who is feeding the general public. Many people ask, won't there be misuse? How many of you think there will be misuse? Yeah, there could be misuse. What kind of misuse do you anticipate? Continuous. Any other mode of misuse? That is a good point, yeah.
Concern we had that coupon being taken and with the restaurant owner were giving the food and just giving him some amount and taking the coupon.
Yeah.
The food not served.
Right. Okay, I'll come to that. Any other concern? Because all the concerns can be taken care in one sentence. That's why. Yes. Duplicate coupon. Yes. 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 What else? Any other concern? Okay. Um, One point is that a restaurant owner can make money out of this, right? Because he is getting this coupon. This is as good as money. That's why we put this check and balance system of issuing coupon from one place and redeeming it in another place. We don't allow anyone to go to a restaurant and take a coupon from there. The restaurants cannot issue coupons. Restaurants cannot issue coupons. Coupon issuance is a altogether different business. And when it is issued as a counterfoil, we take down the name and all that because we need a hunger survey also. For that purpose, even though it's not going to be a very perfect survey, we need to have an idea. And if someone is continuously making use of this for 4 or 5 days, is there any problem? The village officer should know in his territory someone is having a genuine problem. Shouldn't he know that? Earlier, they used to know each and everyone in the locality. Now, this is a system to bring them back into that mode. There have been interesting cases. It's worth studying because we got very, very interesting cases of this kind also. And once we made the inquiry, we felt that they should be allowed to use because those were genuine cases and there was no solution for them because its weight is unbelievable. It is like, truth is stranger than fiction. Couple of cases, like the entire family having some problem. The head of the family lying paralyzed, kids having mental problem, the only breadwinner being the mother who is again having some other disease. It's unbelievable, the kind of misery that goes around, the kind of misfortune that strikes people. It's unbelievable. It's seen or heard to be believed. So in such cases, we told no issue, let it go ahead. Second, about printing these coupons. Nobody is going to print this coupon because it's not worth printing. The kind of expense you have to go through for making 40 rupees. It's not worthwhile. Because the counterfoil, there's a lot of systems put in place. In 1 or 2 coupons, it will be caught. And we, as administration, we can change the coupon in 1 day, isn't it? So it's not like currency notes that you have to call back the currency, then issue and all. In 1 day, we can change the coupon, the color, pattern, whatever. So nobody is going to do that. Now, another concern was that people might be, they may not be deserving. They may not be deserving, they might be misusing it and all that. Or they might go and sell it and all that, but that's not going to happen because this is anyway free. So nobody is going to buy this. If something is free in the market, why will anyone buy that? And at the end of the day, the whole argument boils down to the simple fact that what can be done with this coupon? This coupon cannot be sold. This cannot be hoarded.